people are working on the product, not on the back office, because every company has some people working on the website and the things and the blah, blah, blah. Some serious companies that you think are serious, but we know it are pre-built scams, they not even have those. They hire a couple of people from other companies. But when you have a product like we have, like the Forex Inside, that's a lot of work, isn't it? It's a lot of work to get it done, to get the right people. And did we fail? Yes, we had some hiccups. We had some, but we continued and we continued, and it gets better. And then we have a fall down a little bit. We step up and build it again. Same what we did with the deck coin. Hey, is there any other cryptocurrency that is completely on the market, that is actually sold out? So we were able to start the project, continue the project, and finish the project. Hey, nobody has done that before us, but we were able. They laughed at us, they yelled at us, they have written about us, but we fulfilled our promise. So we will do the next and the next. And every time, of course, with info technology, with cutting edge technology, you are always in an area where you don't know what to expect. Why? Because nobody has done it before. So it's easy to follow somebody else's path, but when you are the one creating the trail, that's a uniqueness. And a serious company, and I advise all of you out there, when you deal with people that have a big mouth and say, yeah, but my company or this other company I can choose, go to the offices and see if there are people really working on the product lines, whatever the product is. When they say, no, yeah, but we have an IT, that means you have developers. You have developers and designers working on it. And when they say, yeah, that person and that, two people, yeah, my brother and my sister are doing it. Are you crazy? I already have seen that only to make those courses that we have in where we have Thea and Helios explaining it, that took a lot of people to make those courses, only those courses. And we have all those people because from the beginning on, we are built to create a company that lasts for decades, that is going to last for centuries. And maybe my English is not always correct because I'm translating it and I try to find the right words to make sure to get you excited about what we have in our hands over. Are you agreeing with me, Jason?
I agree with you. I think that your English is just fine. I think that, you know, what you've done, you know, you've been here since the beginning. So what has been created is one of the few companies in direct sales that actually has massive momentum at this moment in time, right? And I think that momentum is going to continue. I think that we've attracted quite a few leaders. You all have over the past couple of years. Our Circle of Champions is one of the best Circle of Champions that we've had. They've set records ever since they've been in the Circle of Champions for the past 4 months in a row, month after month after month after month, a record-setting pace. And yeah, the products are going to get better. Everything's always going to get better. The only question is you. Are you going to get better? Are you going to go to work? Are you going to just sit around and make excuses? Or are you going to actually go to work? And I think that, you know, things happen, right? So maybe you don't have a connection. Maybe you do have a connection. Maybe Craig didn't have a connection, and maybe he does have a connection now. He says he's ready to go. So we're going to keep fighting through the obstacles, and let's see if our good friend Craig is live back from the West Coast.
Yes, Greg, are you already there?
Well, how am I doing now? Can you see me? Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
You know what? Just like Igor said, man, you never give up. You never stop fighting. I have been racing, literally racing from the spot that I thought was this ideal spot that I was going to show everybody the California coast. Igor's just recently launched the region, and I was going to show everybody this beach called Matador Beach, where they filmed a movie called The Notebook, which every girl in the world has seen, and every guy that is interested in that girl has seen this movie. And literally, it's one of the most stunning, breathtaking places. But the internet service, it said 5G, but it was 5GE. So perhaps my learning from that is that it was really crappy service. So now I went racing up the Pacific Coast Highway to a spot where I could find, it's not particularly pretty. I'll show you, I'm looking at the water. I mean, it's nice, but it's a spot where I have pure 5G. So I can at least talk for a few minutes and carry on. But I appreciate your patience.
Correct. You had the 5GB, the 5G beach. Now you have the 5GA, the 5G auto.
Boom, boom. So I'm just sitting in my car. But listen, I love listening to you guys, and it's actually been interesting to listen to you and Jason talk. I've known Jason for 20 years now, and one thing I'll tell you about this guy, the conversation about winning has never ever left his mouth. It's never been something that we didn't talk about. We talked about it when we were in our 30s and 40s, and now that we're pushing, I was, he was in his 20s and 30s, and now that we're pushing 20 years ahead, we're still talking about it. Because I think that when you have a relentless winner's attitude, you actually never stop talking about that. It gets baked more and more in your DNA. And actually, every time you win, it tends to recalibrate and re-anchor the conversation. Because when you know something, you repeat it. Even naturally, you repeat it. The challenge is when you don't know how to win, or you have doubts about your ability to win, or your doubts about your abilities to lead, which are natural, by the way. Everyone has them. What we have to do is we have to tell our brains to stop lying to ourselves, because every one of us is capable of anything, anytime, all the time, every time. It's just a matter of whether you're going to step into it or not. And what Jason said, we have attracted really high-powered, high-caliber people. I've been having conversations almost every day the last couple of weeks with high-powered people from all over the world wanting to build in the US, also with people in the US that have built other giant companies that want to come and play with us, because they know instinctually, they know how to win, and instinctually they know the time to win is when something that makes sense to the market against all of the elements that are in play to take action on it. We keep saying this over and over again. If you don't take action in this moment with this company, with this level of firepower, you're crazy. You are going to miss the greatest revolution on the planet. The conversation about evolution to revolution is not a made up, silly, event theme, temporary idea. Evolution to revolution is going to be in our language forever. A revolution is absolutely coming. A global revolution is absolutely coming. The question, as Jason said, we're going to win. We are going to win with or without you. We got a better chance of winning with you if you decide to lock down, lock in, set your vision, and get on with it. The question is, why win? Why win? Well, I can't answer that question for you, but I'll tell you this. I've won and I've not won. And when I win, it feels a lot better. It doesn't feel so good to not win, especially when I'm committed to winning and I didn't win. And it's happened many, many times. But what my brain has taught me over the years is that I never really lose. It feels like I lost, but in my brain, I don't allow myself. And this is going to sound like I'm crazy because I say I never lose. I did lose. I did lose my effort in winning. I didn't get what I wanted. But what I do is I think about what did I miss? What were the steps that I missed? What did I not say, or what did I say? How did I affect or impact or not affect or not impact whatever it was that I was trying to win at? And so when I figure that out, then I get really comfortable, like, okay, so I know what to do next. And so there's a price to pay, as Igor said, there's a price to pay for everything that's good. Sometimes the price to pay is you lose and you miss on the things that you really wanted to win and hit on. But if you take the time to think it through, then you can make it work for you the next time. That is effectively a learning, and a learning is a win. And I teach this over and over and over again. It's about little voice management in your brain, because sometimes when we don't win, we call ourselves a failure, or we call ourselves fearful, and then we just replicate fear, we replicate doubt, we replicate hesitancy. And that's what losers do. That's what people who are mediocre and poor and broke and have a poverty mindset in their head, that's what they do. That's not what winners do. Winners fight and win and fight and win, or fight till they win. It's just that simple. It does require a shift in your attitude, a shift in your belief. You actually have to show up a little bit crazy to other people because you're so convinced that you can win. Because here's the deal. I can ask you the question, why win? But you have to answer that question. I would ask you the other question, why lose? Why decide that you're going to be mediocre? Why the heck would you live your life on planet Earth with all of the things that are available, all of the great foods, all of the great people, all of the great places, all the diamonds and gold and fast cars and beautiful houses and all of it, beautiful sunshine, which is not really right here in California. Apparently it's situated over Amsterdam right now, which is a weird to me, but anyway, I think it's really great. So congratulations to all the Dutch people for seeing the star that warms the earth once in a while. So that's awesome. I'm happy for you. But the bottom line is, why would you not step into the best you? Why would you ever do that? I don't think anybody on this call is that, but you have to think about why, when you're on this call, what are you doing to recalibrate you to go out and affect other people with this same level of enthusiastic possibility and potentiality? Because everybody has it. Everybody has the potential of living like a giant, living like an influencer, living like a master of possibility and a master of making things happen. Everybody has that. If I can do it, and this started with me when I was younger. I wasn't good at everything. I'm still not good at everything that I do, but I try like heck. I try as hard as possible. And because I do, I fail, and then I learn, and then I get better, and I figure it out, and I make it happen. That is relentlessness. That is grit. That is firepower. That's what entrepreneurs do. They never stop until they feel the win. And when they feel the win, then they're always very quick to say, is this all it is? I better keep going because there's more. Because you get to a point on the mountain and the views are beautiful, but it isn't the top. And so it's unsatisfactory to take in the views and say this is enough when the top is right there and you can see it. The way to do it is you climb and you climb and you climb, and you never stop climbing. Never ever stop climbing. And that's a mindset. But the why to win is obvious to me. I hope it is to you. The how to win is another question, because we don't all have the how to win dialed down 100%, including myself and including the people I talked to this week. I talk to people who are multimillionaires who have built big businesses, and they're waffling and hesitating on starting something new. What is that? They've been winners before. They've climbed to the top of the mountain before, and they're ready to climb on something again. But yet, same thing, they're revisiting all of their old programming that's deep in their head, in their amygdala, right? Your brain is broken up into three parts. There's the forebrain, the midbrain, and the hindbrain. And at the base of the brain, there's these two little almond-sized things that are called the amygdala. And they have what's called the Amygdalae Complex. And what happens is that's where a lot of your fear comes from. That's where a lot of doubts come from. It's basically like a cluster of cells that basically are in charge of your emotion, your memory, and your fight or flight, right? So if you get fearful, your amygdala is kicking out neurons that are in charge of your memory and your emotion. And here's what's crazy. Your amygdala, these little almonds, live right next door to something called the hippocampus. And the hippocampus houses memories. and basically gives values to memories and creates them in your brain and stores them. So here's the thing. If your fear in your amygdala is kicking off emotions, and then it visits next door to the hippocampus and gets stored as a negative memory, and then you tend to see things through the eyes of a fearful human being. I'm sure you all know people like this. I do. And in fact, maybe you are a person like this, or were a person like this, because what happens is your amygdala is in charge of releasing energy to respond to external threats. It releases energy through the hippocampus so that you get a shot of dopamine. So you have the ability to engage the adrenaline to run or to fight or to take a hit or a bite from an animal or whatever, right? This is a real thing. It's a charged thing. It's in your body. There's nothing you can do about it. But it assigns values to moments and that turn them into memories. I want you to pay attention to that. This is brain functioning, right? And it's crazy because you can overreact. Your amygdala can overreact. Have you ever had the experience where your phone rings or the timer goes off and it feels like it's life-threatening? I have, where like I'm so twisted or I'm so tense or so anxious that a phone call comes in and I'm like, oh my gosh, right? And your heart races. Well, that's called amygdala hijack. Amygdala hijack, meaning it's going into overdrive, grabbing memories, making them permanent and scaring the crap out of you. This is the fear that drives people. And it's not okay, because fear and doubt and hesitation can become life views. They can become the operating principles that people start their thoughts on. But that's not how winners win. Winners win because they take control of their body, they take control of their brain, and they overwrite their brain, and they reset their intention, and they connect with their soul and their spirit, which is all encompasses their consciousness. They pay attention to their conscious brain, and they pay attention to the subconscious signaling that comes into their conscious brain. Most people do not do that. They don't. Most people just sit and they allow whatever to come into their brain. And that is not okay, because subconscious conditioning can be problematic if you have a baseline of negativity. But if you recondition your subconscious brain, your intentions, and your soul, you can actually change the conditioning that comes to your conscious brain, which is right here below your forehead. That's where your awareness is. This is your frontal lobe. This is where so much stuff happens in your brain, and it's very, very important stuff. So what I want you to understand, like, I'm not trying to give you a brain surgery conversation here, but these three parts of your brain are, they're the central organ in your system. And in your forebrain, it controls your eyes and your speech and your judgment and how you reason and solve problems and your facial expressions and inhibitions and doubts and controlled emotions and so forth. But what you're really trying to get to is overwriting your amygdala, which is your limbic system in your brain. And if you could do that, and you can counterbalance the fight or flight that comes with you, then you turn it from flight to fight, and an attitude of, I'm gonna fight until I win. And that's a mindset. I'm telling you, when I talk about mindset, skill set, and tool set, part of the skill set and mindset is knowing the function of the thing that's driving your life. This stuff in here is either going to make your life awesome, or it's going to break you down and give you doubts, and then justify why you have failed so that you can tell other people why you failed, and then you can surround yourself with other failures. That's not okay. That's not why you chose this vehicle. That's not at all, because this is where it's dangerous. I was talking to a guy this week who's built a giant business a couple of times, and he said something to me that shifted my thinking. He said something like, first of all, you got to work harder on yourself than your job. So this is a personal development, self-development masterclass. Why you come to a company like Success Factory is to make money, but the real benefit is that you personally develop in a specific tactical way, a specific tactical way. It's like going to a gym and getting a trainer and learning how to make your arms bigger or your legs bigger or whatever. But it's a specific tactical set of practices. In this case, it's mental practices. And in this case, it's holistic mental practices, the things that actually can change you as a human and your impact on everyone around you. This is so critically important to understand that we have this drug in life, and we're all sort of addicted to it. Some families less, some people more, but we have an entire generation, a millennial generation, that is literally addicted to social media and comparison. Comparison with other people is literally the thief of joy. You almost cannot experience joy if you find yourself comparing yourself to the best highlight reels of other people on the planet. Every time you look at Instagram or Facebook, you see people's best moments most of the time. And then you're thinking, my moments aren't that good. They're not like that. And then you feel worse about yourself. Yet you are a bright, shining star. You're like literally an amazing personality. You're like literally fascinating. You're the most important human on earth in your moment. And I know I'm interested in you. I'm fascinated in you. But if you don't love yourself, if you don't recalibrate yourself, if you don't bring the pure best self of you, then how are we supposed to know? It's there, but you got to clear your brain of the negativity. You got to clear your brain of comparison. We have to literally wean people, millennials, off of the distraction of comparing themselves, the competition of trying to be better than their peers in weird ways, and then finding themselves self-commoditizing, making themselves watered down versions of Me Too's. That's not the game. The game is affect and express your absolute individuality. And that's one of the things that we do. That is literally one of the things that we do. Now, I shared this with you last July, and I'll start my wrap up right here. Basically, I shared this with you, the 4 components of winning, which are, you've got to have raw talent, you've got to have powerful, growing intelligence, you've got to have a spirit of competitiveness, win at all costs, as Jason talks about. And then you have to have the resilience. When you fail, when you suck, when you're not equipped, when you're not good, when somebody objects, when somebody leaves and quits and all of that, okay, you've got to have the resilient mentality, that gritty mentality that says, I don't care. That was a loss. It hurt, but I'm gonna stand back up again. The Japanese proverb, fall 7 times, stand up 8. Fall 1,000 times, stand up 1,001. Whatever it takes for you to get to that place where you are living in these 4 components in full effect. And some are more important than others, okay? So talent, this outside ring, everybody has it. I don't know anybody that doesn't have some level of talent, right? Just their natural gifts. Everybody's got it. Then the second ring is work, intelligence. You have to build your intelligence. Some people are naturally intelligent, but that doesn't mean they naturally know everything. And they surely don't know natural, personal, interpersonal human skills. That's an education unto itself, and a talent that must be gotten, and an intelligence that must be acquired. But then you got to take that and do something with it. I know so many freaking smart people who sit on their butts and don't do anything with it. It's so sad. They have great talent. They can communicate like champions. They've got intelligence coming out, it's falling out of their ears. But then they have no sense of competition. They don't care. They just literally just lazy in their brain, and they're like, I know what I know, and I know that's all I need to know. So I think I'll just have another microwave dinner and watch Jeopardy and try to compete. But never going to go on Jeopardy. Just compete with the game show on TV. Like, this is the kind of mindset that losers have, in my opinion. You got to have a competitiveness mindset to be an actual winner in life, in anything and everything. In raising kids and having a great marriage, it's got to be there. But then you have to have resilience. And resilience is a proactive form of patience. Okay? So patience is necessary. Growing trees, growing an income, growing a team, growing your children, growing a garden, growing anything requires a level of proactive interaction with the goal in mind, and then a resilient patience with the lack of speed according to what's in your brain. I plant this tomato seed, I'm ready for a tomato sandwich right now. I plant this bamboo tree, I'm ready for bamboo tomorrow. I build this team, I'm ready for $1 million income right now. Well, that's lunacy. That's delusion. What you have to have is a resilient mindset. But here's the issue. This is my attempt at a brain. Okay? This is your brain. I told you it's 5% conscious. The work we're doing right now is affecting your conscious brain right here below your forehead, right behind your eyes. That's the prefrontal cortex and the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe, where all of this information is going on, is 2/3 of your brain. Your midbrain and your hindbrain they comprise 1/3 of your total brain. It's your forebrain where all of the speech and emotions and balance and hearing and interpreting and influencing and all happens in 2/3 of your brain. But here's the rub. The rub is this little almond, this little nut, and it is a nut because it stops you. It's the fear nut, right? And you're nuts if you believe it, right? Because bottom line is, this is the amygdala, and this is where the hippocampus is, right by the brain stem, where your base brain thinking starts. All the good stuff's up here, but all these signals come in and they go through this little tiny nut job right here. Don't listen. Don't be a nut job because you listen to a nut job, right? The 5% conscious brain is where the game is played, but that has the capacity to rewrite, re-educate, re-inspire, recalibrate the subconscious communication that goes to your conscious brain, overwriting this amygdala and turning the amygdala into your best friend. The fear thing is always going to be there, and it needs to be, but it will release energy and adrenaline and dopamine. But why not decide to have it release energy and dopamine and adrenaline into a positive outcome, into a intentional growth, income driving income? I don't know why you would choose anything other than that. I do not choose anything other than that. And so it allows me to just start my day and think about, what is it that I want to do? You know what? I want to go after my dreams. So I'm going to tell you the things I keep focused on, and then I'm done. I go after my dreams, not people. I go after my dreams. And because I go after my dreams, when I communicate with people, I talk about their dreams because that's real. And they might be talented people, but I don't care about talented people if they don't have dreams that I can add value to. I met a guy this week and he talks a great game, but I didn't connect with him because he just wants some kind of a free ride. Well, I'm not given a free ride. I'm in my dream state, and I need somebody in my dream state to go with me. Otherwise, I'm wasting my time, and I'm never about wasting my time and anybody else's. And then the next thing is I pay attention to myself, my self-development all week long. All I do is read and listen and prepare myself to do this and impact and try to influence and all of that. I love myself and I take care of myself and I protect myself and I educate myself and I physically work out myself and I eat well and I do the right things. I put myself in good spots. I put myself where I can find happiness, feel happiness, vibe with what's around me. And when I do that, the rest follows. If I take care of myself, the rest follows every time. And I'm old enough to have put this into practice about 1 million times. So if you're young and you're listening to this, take care of yourself first, always. That's not narcissistic. That's not vain. That's not, that's not don't do it at the expense of other people. Do it for the benefit of other people. You love yourself, take care of yourself for other people. That's the truth. And then never lose your sense of wonder and curiosity. I look at ABC, meaning always be curious. Always be curious. Be curious about everything. Plants that you see, people that you meet, foods that are put in front of you. Don't be a a chicken nugget and French fry eater for life. You've got to try lots of other things. There's a great big world out there that will re-engage and educate your senses, and that's a part of taking care of yourself, loving yourself enough to give yourself the ability to step out of the little world that you live in. Sadly, there are a lot of people that don't do that. Some can't, and that's also a thing. We want to go get them and lift them out of that spot where they see more, because what happens for human beings when they see more, they want to be more. It's just the way it is. You're capable of a heck of a lot more than you know you are. I have watched amazingly resistant people adopt, try, fail, swallow their pride, step into the next level, and become something extraordinary. You're way more capable. So play this game, be in it with us, and let's just go get it. Don't live with regrets. Don't do things that you think you might regret. But when a challenge or something happens, learn from it. Don't be regretful about, I didn't make this move and it cost me this. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so the lesson isn't that you didn't make the move and it didn't get you the thing. The lesson is you didn't make the move and you got to go, why? So next time I have that opportunity, I'm making that move. And so no regrets, just lessons. And your only limitation is you. Remember that. You are your greatest cheerleader, greatest vehicle to success. You're the primary possibility in your life. You're also the challenge. So don't be the challenge, be the love of you. You and you need to love each other, right? You need to just take care of each other, because then you'll surpass all of the limits. And trust me when I tell you this, and I mean this with all my heart, life goes by fast. Really, really fast. People come and go. Money comes and goes. But this life goes by in the blink of an eye. Don't waste it. Don't waste your time. Do the things that make a difference, that make you proud, that'll make your family proud. This is the process of evolution to revolution, right? As you evolve and grow all the time, think about what it means. Take in the revelation that comes with it. Consider what you like and don't like, and rebel against the things you don't like, and then revolt. Resolve to revolt. Resolve to change. Resolve to be better. Resolve to make a difference. Resolve to be an influencing, empowered leader on this planet. You've got the vehicle, you've got the team, you've got the people that love you, that want to stand with you, that want to work with you, that want to help build it. And if we'll do that, we can have an effect on disengaging an entire generation from the negativity that exists in social media, that they're addicted to, that they've been trained to do. We need to pull them apart from that, shift them into the positivity of making material, meaningful differences and influencing the world. And if we'll do that, then there's nothing on this planet, no government, no lockdowns, no financial upheavals that will stop the train that is Success Factory. We are going to barrel through every brick wall, every limiting thought. We're going to tear down the tyranny of poverty. I'm committed to that 100%. And we're going to change people's brains, just like I was talking about. We're going to shift everybody's frontal lobes, and we're going to move them into a positive thought. We're going to make sure that this 5% yields a massive return on investment. And with that, I'm going to stop. Thank you for being patient with me as I drove along the California coastline. And, I love you all, and I'm grateful to be a part of this company and a part of these calls. And I'm going to stop and say, have a great week, make magic happen, and just go out and live with a sense of awe, a sense of possibility. When you live with awe, you're going to find that the world is awesome. So go be awesome. And with that, I'll stop. Back to you guys. I think back to you guys. Well, I can show you the ocean over there. Where are my boys? You guys there? Hello. All right. Well, I guess.
Hola.
Oh, there they are.
I thought you were gonna start playing some California love out of the music, out of the thing, and sing to us, sing to your fans all around the world.
Dude, you know what? That's not out of the realm of possibility for me, because I do love this place, and I love the energy of this state, and I don't want to live here, but I do love to come and visit it, and I get fired up when I do. And California Love, just one of those songs that I don't know how it integrated into my life, because it's you know, I'm not a rapper from Compton, but I'll tell you what, I do love me some Dr. Dre, and I do love me some Tupac, and
maybe some Eagles, maybe some Hotel California.
Oh my gosh. Listen, you know, I go to karaoke all the time, and I did Desperado the other night, which is my life anthem song of all time. Desperado is my song. And I did it the other night at karaoke. So I absolutely love that. It's something about singing. It's such a pure release of inhibition. I'm not the best singer, but man, I have fun doing it. So anyway, thank you for that.
Hey, but
all right, Igor.
But
time is yours, brother.
Hey, but California is the El Dorado state, you know, the Golden State. It is, you know, for me, California is always the love state, you know, the servers and the quiet. And I think California comes the most closest to Amsterdam. I've lived there a while in Irvine, in Orange County, actually in Newport Beach. And you know, even when I'm a bad surfer, but I learned it when I was, you know, it's a decade. I always think I learned it in the past, but it's now so long ago in Arcachon, French. But then I went to Huntington Beach and I saw the guys over there, you know, and even I didn't do it for 20 years. I rented a board and I went out with them, finding out that I was not able to do it anymore. But you know what? I saw that movie Point Break, where the American presidents robbed the banks. You know, it's a little bit the reality.
It's exactly the reality.
It's exactly the reality. But that's California. And I love so much the status and the way the people are. And when you drive around in Hollywood, it's you know, I saw that movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but that's really that Californian mentality, relaxed, and you know, everything is possible. As well, that other movies, Savage, as it was Savage, where, you know, what is not allowed in the rest of America, in California, they just do it and they get away with it. And actually, a lot of things are coming.
It's a special place. It's a special place. Amsterdam's a special place too.
Yeah.
This is a special place. One of the most like spirit raising experiences I have is driving down the Malibu Canyon Road. It's like it's indescribable, but the energy of that little valley drive, yes. And then you come out and you're at where the university, what's called Pepperdine University, and you're looking out at the ocean. Malibu is to your left and your right. The ocean's right in front of you. It's such a spectacular feeling, and this is a special place. I would agree with you.
And it has tremendously, you know, it's one of our mystery countries still, because we don't know which one the people take. But California is, in my opinion, it has actually, when California would be a country, it would be one of the richest countries in the world on its own by average income per person in that state. Like San Francisco is possibly the richest city in the world because people have a higher income in San Francisco. Maybe, you know, they don't beat Monaco or St. Bart's, but from big cities in the world, San Francisco has the highest average income. And at the same time, all the industrial and all the hippie type of things, they have the nature, the forest with the big trees. And I really think that, you know that I'm a French wine lover and an Italian wine lover. And I always say the only place on earth where they really can compete with the French and the Italians is the districts in California. There they make wines that are as good as the French and the Italians. Wow. Hey, I see you opening the car.
I'm living the California life while I'm out here, brother.
Man, oh man.
This is it. This is how we do right here.
This is how we do it.
Boom.
Boom, boom, shakalaka, boom, boom. Wow. Wow, what a tremendous, I like this vibe of these calls where one of us or two of us are somewhere else and we go around and the people get a little bit of history lessons. The people get a little bit of, how do you call that in English? Aardrijkskunde, but then in geography, they get lessons in geography. What is there to see? What is there to do? Wow. It is, this is, again, one of those calls. And I didn't know that you were in California, but because of the weather in the Netherlands, I decided today, even when it's only March, I thought I go in shorts. I go in shorts because, it's sunny. The sun is shining. And that's giving a signal. The spring has started. We are now, by the way, in the springtime, in the summertime. So we changed the time zones. So we skipped 1 hour. I thought I was right on time. I was way too early at the office, but I find out that I just arrived on time because, like my friend Surat, he didn't know. He came just at 7 in. But wow, what a great atmosphere we are in. And like I was talking before you started with Jason about our company, and you look at, because we are in a time that people make decisions. There is a timing in life where we make decisions and we get, and you guys out there in the United States, you are building a new market. And I've seen you do that with the speed of lightning. And that's a tremendous thing. And this is a time where a lot of leaders are going to make decisions what they are going to do. You can hip hop from company to company and think, okay, I make money for 1-2 years. But now it is time as well to build a legacy. To build a legacy, you cannot flip-flop every year to another company because it will stop. And people say, yeah, but when I make money with a scam, it's good because I made a lot of money. Now, I can say from the deep point of my heart, the most powerful part, that this company is not only letting you to make in a short time a lot of money, but is giving you as well the possibility over a long time to build a legacy, to leave a legacy, because we are really building what we are promising. There is no difference between the truth and the reality. Many times there's a difference between that. In our company, it's exactly what you see is what you get. And when you see what they are doing over here in this office, when you see what they are doing with the product lines, with the way we build, and now you guys will have there in the United States an office like ours. I even think that the office in the United States will be bigger, isn't it? It has more square meters, I think. I don't know if you guys are still there.
Yeah, it's maybe a little bit. It's about exactly the same size. It's a little different in the width as opposed to the length, but it's almost exactly the same size.
The same size, yes, but all in one floor when you combine the total that we have over here.
That's correct. Yes, we have half of a second floor, so it's a 4-story building. It's a brand new building, and we have half of the second floor. And I think that the other occupants in that building are big companies that are on the move. They're big companies that are known in the United States with some celebrities and with some champion athletes that are part of one company that'll be our neighbors. So we'll be in good company. We're in a good spot, and it'll look and feel just like the one in the Netherlands. So if someone goes there, or they come to the US, or if they need to use a studio in Europe, or they need to use a studio here, it'll be great for everything that we want to do. But the one that we are building here in the United States is more field focused, to allow the field leaders to fly in and use the office to build their teams.
Wow. Now, I've learned this lesson. The 5 people that you surround yourself the most, that will influence you the most. Means when you do it with a company, when you come in a building and you're the smallest company and all the rest are bigger, then you know what the beautiful is? You can learn from them. You can get their atmosphere. You can get their vibration. And, you know, make it a goal in 5 years to be the biggest one in the building. And when we entered this building, we were one of the smallest companies. But you know what? Some bigger companies left to littler floors, and we took over their floors. We are on the way to become the biggest one in the building. And I love it that you are in the same situation over there in the United States, because it's not where we are today, but in which direction we are heading. I think that is the journey. The journey is, in my opinion, that's what motivates me. The journey inspires me. You know, the goals. Every time that people reach an end goal, it can be that you think, hey, the hunger is not there anymore. But you know what? When you enlarge the journey, like Matthew McConaughey said, who is your hero? Me in 10 years. And after 10 years, they asked him, and who is your hero now? Because you reached it. He said, again, me in 10 years. So it's a constantly process of growing and continuing, reaching the level. First, you go for the highest level in the medal range. You become a platinum. You say, yes, I've reached the top of the medal section. But the top of the medal section is the bottom of the gemstone section. And then you hit up to topaz, and you fight your way up. Ruby, you fight sapphire, ruby, emerald. You think, yes, I'm the top of the gemstone. But the top of the gemstone is the deepest point of the diamond section. And then you come in the diamond section. You think, now you're the big hero. But yeah, there's a lot of levels to go. Then the diamonds, you go to the blue. And then you think, yes, but there's the black and the crown. And when you hit the crown, you think, yes, I'm a crown diamond. Hey, but there's a section of ambassadors in the top. Yes. Whoa. And then you move into that ambassador. And I hope really to see maybe this month, next month, the first Americans moving into that section of diamonds and blue and black diamonds. And you know, I'm pretty sure that before the summer comes, we will see the first ones going in the top of the diamond section, and maybe even thinking about going into the ambassador section. And you know what? It's time, because it's very lonely up there. I have to say to you guys, it is extremely lonely where we are, and it's time that we get more people on board in this ambassador section, because our company is growing and we need to have more ambassadors. Actually, it's time that on each continent we have ambassadors, royal ambassadors, and it's even time for crown ambassadors. You know, and when you reach that section, then you can say temporarily, I reached the top of our company. Our company is on the way, reaching, doing the same, moving up step by step, going to the top of the multi-level marketing companies. And the goal is not to be the #1 MLM company in the world, but the goal is to become one of the companies that is the most rewarding, that is, you know, giving the best opportunities to average people, to normal people, to ordinary people, to get extraordinary results. And that is all about life. And I see that many peoples in the world, they settle for mediocrity. They settle for something because they are afraid stepping out of their comfort zone. They want to be like anybody else. But the challenge is humanity is never about being like anybody else, because not even one individual is the same. Nobody on this entire planet has the same DNA as everybody. And I want to say that to you, ladies and gentlemen, listening to this call. Every one of you has unique talents that you are maybe not aware of. You're maybe a little bit scared. You hang in your comfort zone and you have difficulties breaking out. But I promise you, you can become so much more than you think that you can reach. You can become so much more than you are today. For doing that, it takes a lot of braveness, a lot of courage, because you have to step out, you have to go for it, and you have to, like the Formula One racers that are racing at the moment, you must be willing to take the risk to hit the wall. And when you hit the wall, then don't think it's over. No, when you hit the wall, when you go down, when you fail, when you lose, that's where the real winners are born. And it's I love it when Craig and Jason, you guys always talking about winning. I talk about that too, but I talk about with losing. You know, with losing, when you lose, you have two options. Or you rise and you learn, you evaluate and you learn from your mistakes, your failures, and you rise to the occasion, or you give up. Now, I can guarantee you, whatever you give up is a loss. You only really lose when you give up. So in my opinion, winning or losing has all to do with learning and continuing and standing up, rising to the occasion. Become the better version of yourself. And when you become that better version, go for an even higher version. When you reach that, go for an even, it's continuous developing. I've learned in my life, and my father is still alive. He's 96 years old, and he's always interested. I looked some videos back where I was traveling with him, and some people see an old man, but I still hear when I talk with him about a man that has ideas and he wants to go here and there and he wants to experience it. Means that his body is maybe older, but his mind is sharp and bright, and he's on the way. He's on the way to tomorrow, enjoying today, having beautiful dreams, living in the future of his dreams. And in our company, it's so spectacular, ladies and gentlemen. And I think the time has come that after this call, where we had last week those beautiful promotions, where we had actually 8 new countries, 3 of them are already sold out. The other ones are rising. So Turkey is sold out. The Seychelles are sold out. We have sold out Barbados. So we have a couple of countries to go that going fast. I can tell you only one thing, ladies and gentlemen. Don't make the mistake to not have Iran in your portfolio. Maybe you look at it from your perspective, but I see a country that is able to rise to the occasion again and again. A country with a big history, with a challenging, battling, but extremely strong today, and a great future again. When I look at Mexico, ladies and gentlemen, wow, Mexico, you could get a part of Mexico. I put it on the Instagram. I put it actually, Seychelles on the Instagram. I put Mexico. I will next week do a couple of other countries that are still there. Get them. Become part of them. Get the ownership. You know, I always say, when you become a VUEM by having those units allocated to that country, it feels like, you know, who owns Mexico? I can tell you, I look in the back office and I look at all the Viewers that have the units. Hey, they are actually partly owning Mexico, ladies and gentlemen. And who doesn't want to have those portfolios? Tomorrow it's Monday. I saw last week a tremendous boom. Make sure that you take advantage of that boom, and make sure that you inform your team members, ladies and gentlemen, because we say always, it's all about you. It's all about you informing your team members. It's all about you doing that. When they have no clue, you will not see a turnover. But now we have the 75% promotion. The month is coming to an end. The month is coming to an end. We have that tremendous promotion for those countries over there. Make sure that you take advantage of it, because that chance will never come back. It's now an opportunity to get something that in the future, I know for an opportunity to get something that in the future, I know for for the end, I think it's time that we together let's get in. Which beach are you, Greg?
This is called Zuma Beach.
Zuma Beach.
It's in Malibu, and you can see, like, I was around that corner over there beyond that mountain, but this is the Pacific Coast Highway right here.
Wow.
But this is called Zuma Beach. Sun's starting to break through the marine layer, so it's going to get warmer, and it's beautiful, really beautiful.
Wow, I see you are with a beautiful white convertible.
Yeah, I got a little sexy little, what is it? It's a Chevy Camaro.
Wow.
SS. Yeah, this thing's quick, so it's a lot of fun. If you're gonna drive around in California, it's good to do it in a convertible. My suggestion.
Cruising in California. I arrived today with my Aston Martin, and I had him open all the time as well. You know.
Also good.
Good. Now, let's end this call together. Is Jason? Are you still there too?
I'm here.
Then let's put our hand where it belongs, on the heart, and you know, strength and honor. It's all about you.
You. Boom.